Hi there and welcome to your yin practice today. So just start off by sitting on your mat and taking a few deep breaths. Really feel those sit bones grounding down into your mat, nice tall spine, and just bring your focus ready for this short yin practice today. So the first pose we're going to do today is we're just going to lie down on our mat and stretch your hands right up above and stretch your toes as well. Just feel your body all nice and heavy on the mat. And what you're going to do is just shuffle your feet over to the left hand side, keeping your torso where it is, and then do the same with your hands into banana asana. So from the top it will look like you're in a banana shape. And you should be feeling a really nice stretch down your right hand side here. And if you want to, you can cross your right leg over your left. See how that feels. Play about with it a little bit and settle in, because you'll be here for a couple of minutes. And just relax. Nice and controlled breathing. So as we are relaxing here, the three principles of Yin Yoga are really straightforward and easy to understand. It's all about being totally relaxed. You are here usually for 3 to 5 minutes in a pose, so it's really important that you are comfortable and that you're not straining too much. So the first thing that we've got to do is find our edge. And it's that edge where you feel like maybe I can't stretch anymore. It's as far as you can go, but being able to stay there for a few minutes as well. And that edge may change throughout the practice too, and throughout the pose as well. And the second principle is stillness. Finding that edge and keeping it nice and still. And lastly, it's time, the magic ingredient. You just need to wait there for the amount of time that it takes for you to access that deep layer of fascia and get the full benefit. So gently just deepening your breath and slowly sort of shuffling your way back to the centre. Just take a moment or two, take as long as you need actually, just to get the rebound from that initial stretch. And you're going to do the same on the other side. So shuffle those feet over to the right, shuffle those arms over as well. So that, remember, from above you would look like a banana shape. Try and keep your torso in the same place. Get comfortable, as I say, because you're here for a few minutes. And find your edge as well. And cross that left leg over the right if you want to. It's not necessary. And remember, in Yin Yoga, you can always use props as well. Okay, in this position, it's maybe not needed as much. But as time goes on in different poses, you have to be comfortable. So make sure that you are supported where you need to be. So just remembering that if you found your edge and you can maybe get a little bit more out of the stretch, feel free to just go a little bit further into that pose. But you should be feeling pretty relaxed. Maybe ask yourself, am I as relaxed as I can be? Sometimes you're in these long poses, you can sometimes clamp on without not even realising that you're doing it. So just check in with your body and relax. So gently deepening that breath and coming on back into the centre. And have your counter pose, your rebound stretch, just to start feeling a little bit more back to normal. Give those toes a wee stretch, circle your ankles, do whatever feels good at this point, stretch out, just let your body recover from that intense stretch for the last couple of minutes. That's it, and just enjoy that there. So getting ready for our next posture, we're going to gently turn over. Okay, so just roll onto your front. I've switched sides here so you can see a little bit better. And we're going to come into Sphinx pose. And we're targeting the lower back in this one. So your feet are hip width apart, tops of the feet on the floor. And start off with your elbows at a right angle and see how you feel. This might require a little bit of trialing until you get the right position for you. So we're looking to feel that, just that lower back there. Shouldn't be sore, but you should be feeling it. And ask yourself, is this going to be something I can sustain for the next few minutes? Or is it too sore? Or am I maybe not getting enough out of it? This is where your props can come in as well. So you can see from behind me I've got a red bolster. I've got 2 purple yoga blocks there and that pink yoga brick as well. Now you can rest your head on one of those blocks or on the bolster if you like. If it's a little bit too much for you, you can always just make a pillow with your hands and rest your head on that as well. Okay, you can also bring those elbows closer into the body, so I'm shifting them back a wee bit, and that'll obviously bring you up a little bit and bring the intensity up a little bit for you as well. And also another option is to make it a little bit more intense, is you can put your hands forward, straighten your arms and just slide them forward. Okay, but play about with it. Okay, as long as you're feeling it in your target area and as long as there's no pain. So another option for you is raising your legs at the back as well. You can always bend your knees and bring them up, and you can keep them there if you want. See how that affects your posture. It's always good to try it, really internalise and think, how does that feel? And you can even pulse, just like I'm doing here. You can bring them up and down and up and down, or you can keep them up or not have them up at all. There's so many variations here. It can be a lot of trial and error to find out what is best for you, but as long as you're still feeling it and as long as you're still at your edge. And you can also put a little blanket underneath your elbows as well. It's another way to maybe make it more intense and take the pressure off your elbows too, okay? And try and relax your shoulders as well as much as you can. So starting to deepen the breath here. Think about coming out of the posture, and you're going to just fold yourself back into a child's pose. Now those knees can be together, or you can have them out at mat width apart with your big toes together and your hands out the front. Again, whatever suits you. This is your rebound posture, a counter pose for what you've just done. As you can see, it's different because we were in a back bend before, and now we're flexing the spine the other way. So it's a perfect counter pose. So gently just coming up. Remember to take your time, there's no rush. We're going to come into our next pose, which is a reverse pigeon. So if you lie down on your mat really gently, you're going to bend your knees and put the soles of your feet on the floor. Now you're going to take your left leg, cross it over that right knee, and remember, and cross it right over to the ankle and flex the foot. We don't want any floppy ankles here, okay? And push that left knee back so that you're opening up that hip really, really nicely. Now you can stay here, just put your hands wherever they are comfortable, okay? They can be down by your side, or you can stretch them up above if you want as well. Just remember to keep that left knee back, okay? You should still be looking for your edge, okay? And there's a couple of variations to this as well. You might remember you're going to be here for a couple of minutes, so is it sustainable for you? And because you should be totally relaxed, you shouldn't be straining for the amount of time that we're in this pose. So our next option is that if you feel maybe your edge is gone, you can lift up that right leg and hold on to it behind your thigh. And you'll feel that immediately in your right glute, your bottom. And it just gives it a little bit more intensity as well, okay? If that's still not enough for you, you can also put your hands on top of your shin, just below your knee. That just takes it up a little bit more. But do whatever, play about with it. See what feels best, and try and relax as much as possible. Keep your breathing nice and slow and full, in and out through your nose. And you can be shutting your eyes throughout this as well. You don't have to sit, whatever suits you. It's really your practice. I'm just here to sort of show you the way, show you what's available. And the more you do this, it's like any other yoga practice, the more that you will realise what works for you. So try and keep those feet flexed. It's just a really nice way of protecting the joints. So gently coming out the pose, take your time, and once you take your legs down, you're going to put your soles of your feet on the floor and windscreen wipe your legs like this. This is your rebound pose, your counter pose for reverse pigeon. And just side to side, just really nice for mobilising the hips again. Do that for as long as you want. Usually it's a minute and a half that we'll do that for. But just a really nice counter pose for that reverse pigeon. And we're going to go on and do the other side now. So same rules. Lift up that right leg now, put the ankle right over the knee, flex the foot and push that right knee out, okay? You don't need to push it with your hand or anything like that, just have it pushed out, okay? And feel that. Now if that's not enough, same as before, you can hold on to the thigh. or you can hold on to the shin, okay? But as long as you are feeling it and as long as you're comfortable and able to sustain it. So starting to sort of think about coming out your pose now. Gently just bring that knee down, and we're going to windscreen wiper those legs again for your counter pose. It can be quite a hard one on your hips and your glutes, this one, and the windscreen wiper always feels nice. Okay, so starting to sit up slowly again. Come onto your side first and gently come up. And we're going to come into our straddle pose, which means you're going to sit up, really sit up on those sit bones. Okay, put your legs apart. They don't need to be really, really wide apart. 90 degrees is absolutely fine, but just as far apart as they can go, as is comfortable. Okay, the feet don't need to be flexed. They can just do their own thing. And what we're going to be doing is just sitting up, taking our time, and then if you want to, you can sit up just with your hands on your legs if you want. The knees can also be bent a little bit. You don't have to have your legs completely straight, and if you want to, you can fold forward. Here's a little use of props. You can have your yoga blocks and lean on them. Okay, remembering it's where you feel your edge. Okay, so you should be feeling this in your inner thighs, of course, and up the back of your hamstrings. And we are working on the back here as well. We're not trying to come forward with a straight back. Just you're trying to actually get a little bit of a curve in the spine, depending how far forward you are. So you can use your purple blocks. And another option for you is getting this bolster. You can use a rolled up pillow for this. You can actually put it under your knees and you can lean on it with your elbows like this. And again, if you find your edge by doing that, perfect. Play about with it, see which one works for you. So throughout this posture as well, you may find that your edge changes. You start to loosen up the more that you're in it. it gets a little bit easier for you. So just ask yourself the question, think, can I maybe go a little bit deeper into it? Okay, but remember, try not to clamp on around those joints. Try to feel nice and relaxed. So just starting to come out of that pose, just starting to deepen your breath. Thinking about coming out of the pose and gently bring your legs back together, okay? And you can do a nice counter pose like this one. Hands behind you and just arching your back up the way. Again, really nice counter pose for what we've just done. So after staying there for about a minute, we're going to come down onto our back with our feet on the floor again. And you're going to have your knees together and you're going to let them drop over to the left, okay? Have your hands out, straight out beside you. That's it, in a horizontal position. And if this is too much for you, you can always put a little block underneath your knees. You can put a pillow between your knees as well. And you can also split your knees a little bit if it's just too much. Again, play about with it and see how it feels. And if you want to involve the cervical spine too, you can look to the right. So you can see that you're getting the full rotation there. And again, find your edge wherever you are, okay? You should be feeling this in your spine, in your core, and feeling a stretch on your glutes as well. So starting to deepen that breath, think about coming out of the pose. And you're just going to very slowly come out of the pose because you have been there for a while, and you're going to tuck those knees into your chest and hold on to them with your hands for your counter pose. You can bring your face up to your knees as well if you want to involve the cervical spine again, but just stay there for a wee minute or two just to let your body recover. So of course we're going to come down and do that on the other side. Have those knees together, let them drop gently over to the right hand side. You can put that pillow or block underneath, you can split the knees as well, or have that top leg straight as well if you want the intensity to be a little bit more. And you can turn the head to the left. These are all options for you. Okay, and get comfortable. You're going to be here for a couple of minutes. And just relax. So as before, we're just going to start thinking about coming out the pose and bringing your knees up to the centre again and folding them into your chest for your rebound. Just easing everything back off again. So we're going to come into our final resting pose, our Shavasana, okay? So lie on your mat. You've got your feet out to the sides of the mat if you want, comfortable. Or as you can see, I've put a bolster underneath my knees, can be really comfy, give it a try. Rolled up towel or pillow or whatever. So your legs are slightly apart, your hands are out to the side and your palms are facing up, okay? And tilt your chin actually just a little bit towards your chest. It just gives you a really subtle stretch in the neck. And as I say, this is your final resting pose, so it is complete relaxation. Just restoring the body after giving it such a big stretch. And just relax here, focus in on your breathing. You're just letting your breathing go and you're breathing naturally. And just relax for the next couple of minutes. So please feel free to continue your Shavasana on your own. That would be lovely. Otherwise, just start about thinking to invite a little bit of movement back in. Give yourself a wee stretch, wee circle of the ankles, and come up really slowly, okay? Take your time and come up with your legs crossed and hands at your heart. Give yourself a little moment and namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I hope you enjoyed your yin practice.